Urban Grind TV. 20 seasons, 10 years. Yep.
On Urban Grind Radio.
Welcome back to Urban Grind Radio. It's your girl Miranda Wright. I am definitely still in the building with my co-host.
That will be me, D2G, in the building. Urban Grind Radio is lit.
Man, I think you need to repeat that part.
I says Urban Grind Radio is lit.
Man, we've been lit all year. The year just started. Chicago is, man, we're so lit. Let me tell you how lit we is. I have the pleasure to be sitting next to a legend or a legend. I mean, I don't think these people get this.
I think you mean to say the Originator.
Yo.
Man,
what up, ladies and gentlemen? Jaz-O is in the building.
Yeah.
What it is.
The right way, Jaz. Oh, man.
All right. What's goody?
You know, I'm a little younger, right? But I've heard the story. No. Because at first, I met Jaz-O last year at a video show. I had got actually awakened on who he was. I was like, oh, that was him. Yeah. And then I went and watched the video about 5 times. I'm like, dang. And then I read the story on, man, Jaz-O, man, you are definitely inspiration to a lot of people. You don't even know that, do you?
Yeah, I know, but you know.
You just shake it out.
Yeah, you got to, because you'll ruin yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm over it. You know, I'm just thankful. You know what I'm saying, that I was able to be in a lot of the right places at the right time, and it was in my heart to do the things that enable others to do what they choose. So yeah.
Man, just think about it, like the man JayZ. Like, man, the connection that you guys had is flawless. Like, really.
AKA the reason.
The reason, like, really, for real.
Like,
let's talk about that.
We can't mask the fact that you think JayZ, you gotta think Jaz-O.
That's his
Originator.
mentor.
That's
yes.
To have Shawn Carter under the wing. What were those experiences like on the come up back then? Like, how?
Man, it was, it was it was a great friendship. It was a brotherhood. When I first met him, I like to clear up a lot of the misconceptions about like, like he was like just mud, and then I molded and created clay and all this other stuff. Like, nah, he was nice when I met him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I never let people be under that illusion that that I did everything. But what I did is what his craft was, I helped him to polish, and I feel that I motivated him to delve deeper into English lit and be more into poetic license and learning words. Like we started reading dictionaries, and one day he brought a rhyme dictionary to my crib, and we were in it all the time. And that's when, like, when you hear him talking about us beating on the table, and like we were high on sugar, like we would eat Haagen-Dazs ice cream and chase it with Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks, like for real, like literally. I don't know what was wrong with this, but but
because I was just thinking like that. Hold on, that combination kind of crazy.
Yeah, super crazy. But yeah, that was it. But like I said, I'm just thankful that I could sit here today and still say that okay, I've been through it. I got it out the mud, made it, went back in the mud, got it back out the mud. And so few people have an opportunity to do any of that. So I feel fortunate, but I also give myself credit because I have to, because if it ain't me, then I ain't here. And I'm not being egotistical.
No, those facts.
Exactly.
Like, man, okay, so let me ask you this. So the fact of the matter that JayZ is who he is, before he became this big person, did you see like that happening with the creation and things that you have helped put into him?
Yeah, but on a corporate level, I didn't. But I saw it developing. Later, as the years went by, I saw it developing, and I saw that he had a keen sense of business. He had a keen sense of maneuvering, and so I basically saw that.
So what made you get back into, man, let me get back to the roots of this. It's I gotta get heard. I gotta get out here. What brought you to that moment?
Cause I was doing other things, and my initial motivation for rhyming, it wasn't money. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna put out a record, because when I first started doing it, there were no rap records. So my motivation was really just recreation. It was it tickled my fancy, so to speak, to say something witty, or to rhyme over a beat and attack it with perfect timing and the cadence, the exact cadence that I chose, and to manifest what's in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what turned me on about it. So that was my initial motivation, and I felt that in my life I sort of lost that fervor a bit, and I needed it back because it's so much a part of me, So I had to give up a lot of the things that I was doing and say, like, look, I gotta be me. I felt that at the time I was just not myself, and you can see yourself sometimes, like, you're not acting like you.
Yeah.
You're not even walking like you. You're not looking like you in the face. Like, it's real. So I just made a decision. I was like, fuck that. I'm Jaz-O.
That's right.
I'm Jaz-O. I'm Jaz-O, that nigga Jaz-O, not just regular fucking Jaz-O, the nigga down the street. I'm that nigga. When I say that nigga, I'm saying number one that nigga, and I'ma always say I'm the number one that nigga. And I had to say, like, look, you saying that, but look what the fuck you doing. You ain't doing it.
I'm loving this.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm loving this. And let me tell you something. This
raw.
confidence. No, because this confidence, that's number one. Once you look in the mirror and you realize, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm the one. You're going in. Step out the door. So, and I get that.
Yeah, if you don't execute, and like people say, like, I hear it all the time, like people tell me, like, yo, you deserve this and you deserve that. And you know what I tell them? Because I've heard it so many times. I tell them, I'm like, nah, I don't deserve it until I go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm here to get it.
And just to kind of piggyback off of that, just off of the fact of you giving, the blueprint as to how, rap is going to be today, because around the time period where, you were influencing JayZ, he was coming into his own, that birthed off pretty much like a whole bunch of, like, not to say mini me's, but, kind of patented after that style as well, and that's something that you fathered. You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
So that's, could you have pictured seeing something like that when you first started? Like, that type of influence of...
Hell no. I was just, flexing my muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you doing. Like, it was a way to express yourself. So expressing yourself in its ultimate capacity, or expressing myself in my ultimate in its ultimate capacity, allowed me to say, like, oh man, I can't fit all these words in one line, so I know what to do. Instead of squeezing them, making them sound funny, keep it in, or change the time signature. Move up the time signature, and I'll fit it in and make it and perfect it with cadence. To put it right there and lock it in, and it worked out. And also, I'm gonna let it be known that I did it numerous times. Like, we used to have what people call mixtapes. It was really a mixtape. It was like a cassette tape that we recorded on, and it was the DJ, you know what I'm saying? My man KG, my man Stevie Steve, may he live forever. And we used to make cassette tapes. That was a mixtape, and we just rhymed on it. So what happened was I had a few of them floating around in the street, and I actually had a few of them, you know, that got as far down as Florida. And in those days, with no internet, you know, that was incredible.
That's
Right.
crazy.
So basically, I had some of them out there, and the ones that were heard the most, you know, one day Jake, actually, my man Cool KG, David Gregory, he said like, yo, that style that you did, like you did that line, and you tripled up the cadence and stuff. Yeah. He was like, yo, you should do that more. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, and then JayZ one day said the same thing. He was like, yo, you know what? We should do a whole song like that, because JayZ, myself, this cat Almond Joy, and his brother Easy LD, we did a song called HP Gets Busy in 1985. And, you know, Jay and I were doing a lot of that stuff, but he heard me doing it, and then we both did it, and we didn't look at it like, okay, who's gonna get the credit for it and stuff like that, because we were partners. So anyway, he suggested like, yo, we should do a whole song where we just tripling up, you know, our words. And that's where the original originators came from.
Now, because it was natural for you, right? Now with the others, how was that? As far as tripling and
oh no, they didn't do it at all. They didn't do it at all.
They tried.
They left that one alone.
They didn't really try. It just
I believe that to you.
Oh my God.
I believe that one to you,
Yeah,
man. Because you came on that record and put your stamp on it.
I appreciate it.
Man.
Yeah.
Nigga, what?
I was gonna say that verse in itself was the perfect example and explanation of what you started with, how you and Jay started with the triple entendre. Like, I had to literally play back in my mind a line. It was one line that stuck out in particular that I was just like, how did he fit all of that into one fast, like at that speed of a rhyme?
Oh, you talking about running ruler with rigor and vigor?
Nobody better than me and my nigga Jigga. Yes, that was the line. That was the line. The story on you, then what brought that joint to mind was this is artist, his name's Christopher Lamar. Today's his birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy born day anniversary.
Yes, sir. He's in Chicago, he pretty much puts these tributes to JayZ together. So what we would do is
I came to see one.
Yeah, you was there, and yeah. I remember because it happened at the Promontory.
Exactly.
The Hyde Park, and you had came in, and I was just thinking in my head like, oh my God, this verse is right here, and we supposed to do that as part of the performance. But now I'm kind of at a standstill because you got the originator right there, and if I try to do it and I fail, because there's a lot of population holler certainly a pop rapper like a third degree. See the style so bright, nigga. I'm my life. Ruling better with bigger and bigger. Nobody bigger than me and my nigga Jigga. Like,
you know what I'm saying? What happened? You didn't look in the mirror and said, this. Like he told you.
Because I'm like, if somebody gonna do something that I did, it's like, hold on.
Nah,
that's why I had to. I'm like, listen, it's
yeah, other would been like, who she thinks she? Yeah, I would have got. I did you.
He very well could have pulled the plug on that, and it would have been in his right because that's his creation. I'm like, it's something we want to pay homage, like, you know.
I saw you slapped it. You slapped it. I mean, all the words weren't exact, but you know, your cadence.
The clone only goes as far as the original. So let that be a lesson.
Keeping it a buck.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I was hey.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to disrespect you at all.
No, that's
we keep it 1,000.
But you gotta keep it a buck.
The cadence. He was there. He was locked in. The cadence, everything. Like I was impressed. Yeah. I was like, because they wanted me to jump up there, and I'm like, nah, that's not my style. Like, you on stage, this your show.
They paying homage.
You do your show. Don't come on my stage and try to do
never.
my show. So,
understandable.
You know, reciprocity. Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? That was your night. And you shine, and I appreciate it, and I love it.
Man, that was
that's
not
what this
easy.
shit is all about.
Listen, I can understand that was not an easy thing to do. That took breath control.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? To get the diction exactly placed and enunciated as it's supposed to be with the same air control at a speed that's just like.
Let me ask you that because with the rapid fast, sometimes you have to know where to take your breaths at. Like,
Yeah.
I had a couple of rounds I had to do some, breath taking stuff, and I just, what you do?
It's,
like
you have
going
to,
like you going swimming or something. Like, how do this
it's a program. You have to, the brain works on programs, and the brain computes holographically. So what happens is it's just like by repetition. That's how they program us in marketing. They just keep putting commercials on. So you do the same thing with your rhymes. You keep saying it over and over again, and those places where you lose your breath, you find out, damn, after like 4 or 5 times, you just automatically know when you have to take that air again. So, and I've learned to take in air a whole lot faster, by rhyming faster. I could just, and before you know it, like I got air again. I got air again. I got air again. You know what I'm saying?
See how you just made that
I'm
look
going
effortless.
home tonight. Matter of fact, on my way home, right? I'm gonna practice that.
That's gonna be the most interesting ride home. You trying to concentrate, you done missed the turn. Playing around.
She gonna be like, but I got air again.
No, what's up? But seriously, let's talk about the warm up, man.
Oh my God.
I heard a couple of those tracks, man. You taking it back to what we need to get. Let's get the real is back. You feel me?
Yeah.
The real is back, and I appreciate. I'm big on metaphors. I'm big on bars. I'm big on storytelling, and I appreciate that you're doing it.
Thank you.
Like, let's talk about that album, EP, and as far as what made you get into just the song selection on that.
I wanted to give what is in my heart, and that is exemplified through MARCY. I also wanted to render my skill set, and I did that. I spread that, I feel, through the rest of the EP, doing like what technically is not really the triplet style, but what they do now is really just a double style, which I've adapted, and I do that, but I kept it hip hop.
Yep.
I'm gonna spit those bars. I'm gonna say and I'm not being braggadocious. I'm just telling it like it is. It's almost like
it is what it is.
Talk, man.
I'm saying it's me, but it's really like me talking about my nigga me right here, because I'm not really trying to be like poking my chest out or nothing.
Right.
So I'm just basically saying, like, it's so important to me to say the best shit. Like I like to give it up. Like I wanna make song, like every song that you hear, you gonna have to listen to it. You gonna listen to it like the 20th time you hear it, you gonna be like, oh shit. And I may be lessening the impact by telling you that, but I feel like, I gotta toot my own horn. Like I've been in the game, it's going on, shit, I don't even want to say, but it's over 35 years, and it's like, I gotta toot my own horn at some point. So fuck that.
No, you definitely listen. That is a no, that is a toot your horn moment. Now you just mentioned the lead single Marcy. Now I'm so MARCY. I don't know. How did I just do that?
You gonna think I'm picking on him, man. I ain't picking on you, bro.
Oh no, this is me in admiration right now, man. But with MARCY, you just finished shooting a video for it, and one of the key places that it correlates into the story of MARCY is the scene in which you actually was able to go back to your childhood place and be able to shoot the video inside of that. I can only imagine the feeling of nostalgia that overtook you as it was unfolded. How can you elaborate further on that feeling?
I almost can't really describe it in words, but the spirit I felt like as a child growing up in there, the only difference was the fact that everything looked so much smaller. Like, you know, when you literally, like, everything, like, my room is way down there. But, like, you know, but when I went in there, I think, like 2 weeks ago, it was like, man, I lived in this little thing. Like, we all fit in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. But, you know, when, like I said, when you're young and you're small, you know, it looks a lot bigger, but that same spirit still resided in that apartment. And I was just trying to hold back my tears, literally. And it was so comforting, and it was joyous. And it's like you look out the window and you see the same bullshit.
Man.
And I don't think everybody can understand unless you have somewhere that you lived, and no matter what type of shit goes on there, you still feel that spirit, that nurturing spirit of where you from, and you find comfort in it. You find comfort in the people who feel the same way that you feel about that place. It's just miraculous. And I was so happy and I was so fortunate to be able to shoot in the actual apartment, the first place that I ever lived in my life. Like, like mama brought me home from the hospital, and that's where I was.
Yeah,
so it was crazy.
That just made me even more appreciative of the song as you explained, in the significance and the sentiments of it, because with you already having the storytell part in the song, which storytelling is like my thing. I love when an artist can tell me a story. It just gives me the feeling and reminiscing like thing, like I was there. Like it put me in your eyes, looking throughout the window, seeing the same things, going through, you know what I'm saying, just the trials of just living, you know what I mean, throughout that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's crazy.
Right.
You've been in hip hop, as you stated, for a long time, and there has been a change in hip hop from when you started to where you at now. How do you take the change over? What's your thought on it? What's your feel on it? Like everything that's happening in between.
Well, for one, I feel that anything that doesn't change is dead. So, you know, they try to discard, and say, well, hip hop is not what it used to be. Rap is not what it used to be. It's like it's not supposed to be. If it was, then, you probably get tired of it and complain about that too.
It's different.
Yeah. And then, as far as the music, they saying, they letting all these whack niggas in, and they ain't letting them in, they coming in. And, shit, when I first started making music, it was whack niggas too. So, what's the big deal? Like now that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not the whack. It's not the whack that you can relate to, so you call it whack and everything's messed up. Like I've been in places where, and y'all know of a lot of songs like this too, where it'd be a song like when it came out, say like in the early mid 90s or some shit, and that shit was straight trash, right? But they'll fuck around and play that shit in the club today like some throwback shit, and everybody, oh, that's my shit.
Yeah.
That shit was trash when it came out.
I ain't gonna lie.
Now all of a sudden, that's my shit. That's my shit. Niggas, niggas popping bottles. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of this.
What song? Tell me what it is.
No, this was because back then I had a certain type of preference of what I listened to. You know what I mean? So I didn't really appreciate it. So a joint that like kind of stands out to me, I hope they don't get me.
It is what it is.
It was a 3-6 record. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was the Tedder Club Up Thugs joint.
Yeah.
With the Hot Boys. I thought that was just like, wow. But I was a kid back then, I didn't really get a full understanding.
Right.
Man, growing up hearing that now, just like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking. First off, 3-6, that was him saying that. I wasn't talking about y'all's song.
I was just
You know what I'm
saying that
saying?
song, not the
I'm just
whole,
playing.
but that song was just like I couldn't
I'm
do
just
it.
but what I'm saying is I understand because it's really that you are reflecting on your emotions and your experiences during that time period, and that's what people latch on to when they hear songs from the past. And if they really reflected, they would be like, I didn't really like that song, but this was popping at that time, and I was in high school or whatever the fuck, and all this was going on, and I did this for the first time, and we hung out at this spot, and we stayed out all night. All of those things, all those memories are attached to music, just like it is for everybody. Even with the music that we don't think is trash. So I understand it, but that's what I just think that shit is very amusing. Like, and I look at some people, I was like, come on, that shit was trash when it came out. Y'all niggas going crazy and shit. But fuck it.
You like it, I love it.
Should be funny, yeah.
Man, the whole thing with the whole hip hop changing and everybody, adapting to things. Everybody have their preference on what they like.
Yeah.
Me, like I say, I'm sorry. I don't consider you an artist if you really not painting a picture. I don't consider you an artist if you just rhyming. I'm sorry, it is what it is. It's how I feel. In today's world, it's a lot of rhyming going on, cat in the hats and the bets. But
A lot of charters, if you will, and they're just trying to chart.
But like with you coming back with real rap, like how do you feel the audience is gonna accept this real music?
Well, I mean, it's up to them, and I may sound again, very egotistical, because I am.
I love it.
But it's like I do it for myself primarily, and I feel like that at my skill set and my analyzation of music, my attention to detail to things, that if I fuck with it, that I definitely will always have an audience, So I primarily do it for myself, not doing it for myself like fuck everybody else, but I do it for myself because I know that I'm my most difficult critic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, Jazz, you like that? I don't talk to myself like that. I'm just saying.
You painting the
It's okay if you do.
Yeah, I'm painting the picture. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's okay. It's cool. But if I enjoy something, if I listen and I say, damn, he's locked in right there, or
You know what? Everybody got that though. When artists, they know, man, Joe, I just like that freestyle. I just let you hear. I killed that freestyle. I play it all the time, so I know I know that feeling. And, and people have that music. I'm my worst critic. People have that music where this ain't nothing, but other people might like it. It is whatever. Toot your horn, but I know what I got my foot in though. You know what I'm saying?
It's that universal tap right there. Man. Everything's just hitting.
And what's key is how you wear it.
Yeah.
You could, two people could come outside with a Bozo the Clown suit. One will like it and they'll be like, yo, I'm chilling. I don't care what people think. The other person will be like, maybe, I shouldn't have done this. This shit looks crazy. Right. And they're more apt to look at the person who thinks they look crazy as looking crazy than the one who's wearing it right. Or wearing it a way where they're comfortable. So you gotta wear your shit and own your shit, and part of that is really not being under the illusion, like, cause there are a lot of whack niggas that know they whack. You know what I'm saying? But
oh man,
I don't think they know.
They know, and they try to fool the public by saying, by doing things a certain way, like like saying a line, I climbed up a tree and then I ran into bees. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you say it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the way niggas said it. Like pronounced it. They might have flexed their muscles a little bit when they said it and shit. And you'll get a lot of people be like, oh, bees, oh, shit. You heard what he said, son? You know, all that bullshit. That's marketing, though.
But
That's
you know
marketing.
what, though? What I will say, you say you do it for you. I'm going to say you do it for the culture. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's, man, I mean, it
Nah,
brings it back. Like, it brings it back. Like, I honestly, I'm sorry. I don't respect you people that just rhyme. Like, even, it don't matter what your subject is. Your subject can be anything of whatever it is, but you need to make a story behind it. You need to be an artist with this music, man. That's how I feel. Like, and I'm gonna die to it. Like, it is what it is. Don't fight me.
Yeah, but
Ouch.
yeah, ouch. I can dig it. I can dig it, and I applaud that. And I also say, in all fairness, that they have whatever you want to call it. It has been facilitated, so it exists now. So what, you know, the thing that you think is lesser than what it should be, it exists.
Yeah.
I think that the greatest argument to it, or the greatest defense, if you will, is to remain what you are, to counterbalance that whole shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, because it's all opinionated at the end of the day. Like, who's the best?
Yeah.
Who is you know, who raps this way, who raps that way. It depends on the audience, depends on the body of work, depends on, you know, the age and the so many factors.
Yeah.
So all of that is really opinionated, and what I say is, if you feel a certain way, like I did an interview years ago, and somebody asked me, you know, are you afraid to speak your mind because you may be looked upon as a hater? And I'm like, nah, who gives a fuck?
Right.
I think I walk around here stuffing food in my mouth all day, giving a fuck how somebody feel about me. And niggas ain't buying the food for me to stuff in my mouth. So I just basically say that, and what I'm saying when I say that is, I can complain, and there's nothing wrong with people complaining if they're doing something about it. You know, and I think that, you know, again, it's another social program where you hear somebody complaining about something, or even somebody that, are you just hating because? Why are they hating? They don't have, and if they are hating, so what? But what you look at, the words are only a small piece of their action. You know, you could listen to the words, but watch what they do.
Right.
If they're saying they don't like something, and then they do what it is that they do like to counterbalance it, then you gotta applaud them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? With your album that's coming out, the warm up, your EP, I have one quick question. What is your overall message for that EP?
Make some money.
And like that, a gem was dropped.
You know what I'm saying? But real rap, it's always the same. You know, to express myself. Everybody expresses themselves in a manner in which they choose. Sometimes under duress, it's not exactly what they choose, but it's an expression, you know, and I do it. Of course, you know, it's a monetary thing now, but I do it to express myself. And every song, like, whether I'm talking about money and cars, or if I'm talking about Marcy, where I grew up, you're going to get Jaz-O. You're going to get the same dude, because it comes from the heart, you know, and that's where it comes from. It comes from the heart.
Jaz-O, let everybody know where they can follow you at, get in tune with you at, what this album will be dropping at. Put it out there for the people.
All right. You know, y'all listen up. This is the Originator, Jaz-O. You can reach me at kingscountymediagroup.com. That's KINGZ KOUNTYMEDIA.com. Oh, group. Forgot the group, y'all. Kings County Media Group.com. Group spelled the right way.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's a bar.
And then and you can reach me at IG Jaz-O KKMG. That's JAZO KKMG. You know, that's mostly it. Oh, on Facebook, Jaz-O JAZO. Twitter, The Real Jaz-O, TheRealJazo.
Man, Jaz-O, I'm gonna salute you for getting back to the roots,
Salute
bringing
back.
real rap back, because it's needed. And man, I'm definitely tuned in. I need
Yes.
everyone to make sure that y'all tune in to Real Rap, the originator, Jaz-O. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
MARCY.
Yo, Marcy's greatest. It's the originator Jaz-O. You're listening to Urban Grind Radio. Come on.